Hi, guys. Today, I'm going to share with you what we are doing to change a very, very boring industry, an industry that it's worth 58 trillion US dollars. And I had to bring that number because private pension, the industry itself is so boring that I hope that the $58 trillion will make it more appealing to you guys. So I want you to raise your hand if you know what private pension is. Do you guys know what private pension is? So keep your hands raised if you have private pension yourself, any kind of a product. So not many people have private pension, and we're disrupting it. You probably are guessing with AI. So we are in 2025, and if you are guessing that we are using AI to disrupt private pension, you are 100% correct. If I was here in 2023 or 2022, I would probably be telling you guys how we are going to build private pension for metaverse. But this is not 2022 anymore. This is 2025. So AI it is. But before I talk to you guys and explain how we are transforming private pension using AI, I want to bring another case which is much more sexier than private pension, mobility. So how Uber used AI to transform the Brazil market in its largest market in the whole world. So I am Tsai. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Stay. I started my career as a derivatives trader and a market maker at Morgan Stanley, in charge of emerging markets in the Americas. I came back to Brazil 7 years ago to help build Uber in Brazil. And then later, I joined 99. And more recently, I have been building Stay in Brazil. So before I get into the details of how we are transforming private pensions and how Uber transformed Brazil, I think I need to get into the basics of AI. We talk a lot about AI, right? But I do have this perception that we have very different understanding of what AI means and what AI can do. So I'll go through a very quick presentation just to make sure that we have all the same understanding of AI. So everything that we do today, from deep learning, machine learning, generative AI, they all fall into what we call narrow AI category. So everything we do, everything you use, everything every company uses, it falls into the narrow AI category. There are some companies that are pushing forward to general AI. General AI, so if you look at OpenAI, they're spending billions and billions of dollars to get to general AI. But there's no proof that general AI exists. Okay, so sometimes we assume that general AI is already something that already exists. It doesn't exist yet. It's all in theory. So general AI is when AI starts to making judgments, start to have consciousness on what's wrong and what's right. That's general AI. The AI we have nowadays doesn't do that, okay? And then we probably, if we get to general AI, there's one step forward, which is super AI. So super AI is also theory. There's no proof that we can get to super AI. There's some theories that we can get there, but there's no proof we can get there or we are there already. So super AI is when an AI can have feelings, emotions, empathy. AI doesn't do that yet. So to put it simply, and help our understanding of AI, imagine that general AI will be an AI capable of coming to a conclusion that human species, me, you, all of us, are destroying the planet. Therefore, it has to eliminate us. So general AI could do that, could come to that conclusion. Super AI would be empathetic, would probably feel sorry for us, would pity us, and then might probably prefer to spare us. So that's super AI. But when we discuss AI nowadays, everything falls into narrow AI. So it's still very basic in the very beginning of what we can do with AI. And within narrow AI, there are two brackets of AI. There's one what we call reactive machine AI. Most machine learning models are reactive machine AIs. So this is an AI that doesn't learn from the past. It doesn't improve itself. And then what we have nowadays is what we call limited memory AI. This is an AI that can learn from the past, can improve itself, can teach itself to make it better. And this is ChatGPT right here. So I'll give you an example of what reactive machine AI can do, and I'll get into the case of Uber, how Uber transformed Brazil into its largest market and São Paulo into its largest city in the whole world. So Uber's success can be attributed to many reasons. The talent density it has the best engineers, has best operations, it has a great market. The Uber market, mobility market, it's great, but its success can be traced back to two AI models, two machine learning models that were built to help us conquer a market like Brazil. So one of them is dynamic pricing. So how do you give real-time price to millions of riders every single second? And how do you dispatch the best car possible for millions of riders all the time? It's not your closest driver. It's the best driver that will optimize for everyone else. So how do you do that? So this is the basic formula, the math formula behind those machine learning models. If you're a nerd like me, you probably already know this formula. This is not proprietary, Uber proprietary's secret. So I'm not committing any felony here. This is just science and math. And so if you live in Brazil, like me, in the last few years, or have been here in Brazil for some time, you know this country is lovely, but also a little bit chaotic, right? You probably know that already. So how do you build a company in a country where infrastructure is not great? Traffic jam, I almost didn't get here on time because I spent almost an hour for my car to drive like 15 kilometers. So how do you build a business in a country like that? You use AI. So with the AI, you can optimize all these probabilities. So you can maximize the probability of all of these things happening. And you can also make sure that all these variables are considered when you give one price to every single rider in your city. How many riders there are, how many drivers, the time, the geography, distance. You wouldn't be able to do that with a real person on a spreadsheet. So that's when we came up with dynamic pricing machine learning models that can calculate all of that in real time for millions of riders and hundreds of thousands of drivers all the time. So that was how Uber managed to transform Brazil into its largest market, a country that is not known for having good infrastructure. But with AI, we made possible to make Brazil Uber's largest market. And Rio, at least from when I was still there, was second or third largest city in the whole world. So now I'll go into the second type of AI, the limited memory AI. And for today, I'll bring how Stay, a Brazilian tech company founded by me, a guy from São Paulo, I'm Taiwanese, by the way, a guy from São Paulo, and a guy from Rio, how we partnered with Zurich, a Swiss insurance company with almost 200 years, how we partnered to disrupt a very, very boring industry, which is private pension. So the same way that it's very difficult to disrupt mobility without AI, imagine private pensions. So those who already had experience with private pension, you probably know that it's very bureaucratic, very time-consuming. The user experience is just terrible. And how are we changing that? First, we're building towards our first AI agent, which is a generative pension manager. So the company can offer private pensions, can customize pension plans without having to hire people, to spend money, to invest a lot of time to build a private pension program for the company. An AI can do that for you. And for employees, we are building a personal financial assistant to help employees save and manage their money. So private pension is probably, in terms of regulations and tax breaks, the best way to save money in Brazil. You benefit a lot. The company also benefit a lot in terms of paying less taxes when you offer private pension. But nobody really does that because it's expensive. The user experience is just terrible. But with agents, AI agents, we can deliver private pension to every single company, every single employee in the country. And that's how we transform private pensions. So how does that feel in real world? So if you look at the current experience, this is how it feels. You want to know your balance, how much you already save on your private pension plan. You call a number like this, you spend 30, 40 minutes to know your balance. We joke that that's the 20th century experience. This is not 21st century experience. Let's say that you want to update your private pension plan. Some insurance companies will ask you to write a handwritten letter and send it through the mail to change your pension plan. How is that even possible nowadays, right? So how Stay and Zurich are transforming this market. So this is how our experience works. You can do everything that I just mentioned in 3-4 seconds, real time. You don't need to talk to anyone. You don't need to call anyone. In 3-4 seconds, using your WhatsApp, you can change your private pension plan. You can check your balance and all of that. So I will finish my presentation with a story. This is one of the largest public hospitals in the country, Hospital Araújo Jorge. They never thought that giving private pension to their thousands of employees was possible. They take care of patients with cancer, but they couldn't take care of their employees. With Stay, for the first time, they'll be able to help those who help their people with cancer. And so I just mentioned there in the very beginning of the presentation that this is a $58 trillion industry already. But we are just at the beginning. We will change the industry from the inside and not just deliver private pension to hospitals like Araújo Jorge, but to every single company in the country. So if you want to join me in this revolution of ours, This is my personal agenda. Feel free to reach out to me at any time. Tomorrow, I will be at a press conference. Feel free to join, ask me questions. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys around. Bye-bye.